Audio Crosswave, the right hit music mix.
Let's go! The radio station you can't live without. This is your radio.
It's 2019, baby.
All the hits, one station.
Bringing you the best mix of the best music.
Nothing but the baddest and best music.
Broadcasting worldwide.
One hit at a time.
Music.
Online.
One station. Hit music. All the hits.
24/7 around the world. Non-stop. This is Crosswave.
The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown, a musical talk show with in-studio guest performers and interesting program features, anchored by the man with many titles: musician, producer, actor, director, YouTuber, filmmaker. Well, the list is long because he's the man and more. So friends, Canadians, ladies and gentlemen, your Sunday midday fun starts here. Welcome to the Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 22, I believe it is, of the Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown. And I am your host, here as always, Scott Dion Brown. And I'm joined, of course, by my co-host. No, I'm not. Today, ladies and gentlemen, is my first episode ever where our host, Regine Elena, is unavailable to host because she's going to have to give us the scoop when she gets back in a week's time. But she's actually hosting, she's judging a pageant right at this very moment. Of course, all of you know, Regine is the best co-host in the galaxy, coming up soon to compete at the Galaxy pageants coming up in April. So she got called on to host a pageant that I'm going to have to find out about it, but apparently it's presented by Sweet Darling Divas, and it's called the All About the Face Unicorn Pageant. And apparently it's adorable. I think it's all little kids. So she's there all day long. She's been there, I think, since 9:30 or something this morning. So it's a long day of pageantry and fun. So she'll have to fill us in on all how that is when she gets back. But Regine, we miss you. We miss you very much. I'm normally here with my co-host, and instead I'm just this sad rowboat floating in an empty lake. So let's just kick off the show, because honestly, I'm not alone. I have a guest here today. So let's get the intro of the show out of the way, and then we can kick things off. So let me just bring it up here, and we'll meet them. So first off, this show is brought to you by, hang on. I'm also on this side of the table for the first time. So anyway, today's episode of The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown is brought to you by our two executive producers. Do you want to find out what your home is really worth? Are you buying or selling a home? Then Jennifer C., Realtor at Home Life Culture Link, is here to help. Call or text Jennifer today at 647-403-8887. Don't deal with just anyone. Speak to a professional. Jennifer C. at Home Life Culture Link. To see her current listings, visit homelifeculturelink.com. Thank you, Jennifer C. The Mortgage Godfather is here to give you advice with any mortgage needs you may have, and he will shop to find you the best mortgage. Nino Saimeka, mortgage agent. He will give you an offer you can't refuse. He'll give you an offer you can't refuse. Find out more at mortgagegodfather.ca or call 905-604-6955 to reach Nino Saimeka, mortgage agent. Thank you very much to our executive producers for being part of the show. And now I think it's time to meet our guest. So I have an intro here, and I'm going to read it, and then we'll find out who she is. So, ladies and gentlemen, our guest today is a super talented artist. She's a Renaissance artist. She's not only a belly dancer, she's an artist, she's a singer, a songwriter, poetry writer, a content creator, actress, piano player, and model. Many, many things. Very interesting person, fantastic voice. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown, Pheroine.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
Scott? Doing great. It's a nice snowy spring Sunday.
Yeah, can you believe it? It always happens in this city. You know, on Friday, I was outside. It was like so warm. I was walking around, no scarf. It was sunny.
Yep.
You know, it's like, oh great, you know, winter's done. And then of course here we are Sunday.
Yep.
No.
Just when you think it's ready to actually be spring, you know.
Final dusting of snow. I mean, it looks pretty.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I'm not sure how long it's supposed to stick around. I don't know.
Crossing my fingers that it'll go away.
Yeah. It's a time of year where I find like I'll leave in the morning and I have to make sure that I bring like layers or like a few scarves, right? Because you have to like by the end of the day, yeah. Because like midday it's only going to be boiling, and then a few hours later it's freezing, and you never know what it's going to be.
Yeah, just bring all seasons, you know, with you. You know, just
exactly. We don't really have 4 seasons in this country. We have like 2. We basically have like winter and summer, and then there's like 2 weeks of a weird transition in between them, right? But anyways, so everything's good.
Yeah. You know, I sing my pain away sometimes. That's the thing. Like a lot of my music is an outlet for me because I'm struggling with a lot of mental issues, and I think we need to be like supportive of each other because it's a big epidemic, if you will, because
absolutely
mental illness.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm mentally ill or anything, but I mean I'm struggling with certain issues.
Yeah.
And music is a great outlet for me. That's how I came up with the name Pheroine.
Oh, I see. That's the story behind the name. Yeah.
Yeah. So the story behind the name there. I'll come closer to the mic.
Actually, that sounds better. Yes, do that.
Okay, so how I came up with Pheroine as the artist name for myself. Music is heroic in a way. It saves us, right? It saves me. So that's how I came up with heroin. But also music is addictive, like heroin.
Yeah.
Not that I endorse heroin whatsoever.
Yeah.
But it's just, you know, a metaphor. And then I'm Egyptian, so Pharaoh. So that's how I came up with Pheroine. And so that's the main story behind it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I think it's important. What I like about how things are today is like it's much more people are much more comfortable talking about mental health issues, which I think is good. For a long time, it was something that I think people didn't want to talk about or swept it under the rug. And I think, you know, a lot of people struggle with those sorts of things, and I think it's important to be able to talk about it.
Yes. So, that's so important. And sing about it, talk about it, just live your passion. You know, we all have to pay bills, obviously, but no matter where my music goes, I'm just happy to be in the journey and just create. Yeah,
absolutely. So, and in fact, so speaking of music-wise, so I know you sing in various genres, right? A whole bunch of different ones.
I can do jazz style. I can do I've done metal. Like that, you know?
Yeah.
And opera, I can do like that stuff. But my music right now, it's in the trap, hip-hop, R&B sort of category.
Yeah, so we're going to play some songs later on in the show so that we can get a taste of that. So do you have a preference, or how do you find it is transitioning between singing different types of music, different genres?
It's an interesting experience and journey because I used to be known as a metalhead, actually. I've always liked rap, hip-hop and stuff. Eminem was one of my top favorite artists as a teen.
Yeah.
But then I got into more, I always loved Tupac. I love Nas. I love, I don't know, J. Cole, Travis Scott. Drake's my favorite artist right now. But I had this phase where it was all rock and metal, and then, I don't know, I decided just to give this a shot, and people are telling me I actually sound better in this sort of category, you know, of music. I mean, it's just a flavor, right?
Yeah.
It's just, and even my music now, the 3 songs that I have currently, it's kind of like there are different flavors almost. It's like a chef preparing a 3-course meal almost, you know.
Absolutely. Cool. How do we meet? We met through Lyra Salt, right?
Lyra Salt.
I should invite her on the show, actually.
Hi, Lyra, in case you're watching.
Yeah, we met. We were going to perform at. Was it a birthday event that she was doing?
It was like a special birthday event, the founder of the youth day.
That's right. Yeah,
and
youth
stuff
day
like
in
that.
Right.
Yeah, it was cool, and then that's how we met.
Yeah,
that was really good.
She invited us to play.
I was blessed.
We were going to be in her band, right? So you were on. piano. I was going to be on bass. And
Yeah.
yeah, we met at that rehearsal.
But then we ended up singing. I ended up singing along with you.
Yeah, that's
In
right.
your performance.
Yeah, what did I sing? I
You
sang
two.
You Too, and also I sang a song by Tragically Hip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good show. And you know, I mean, that's how it is. I guess we're always everyone's crossing paths and different events and everything. And so I'm glad we met, so I could have you on the show.
Yes,
Pretty cool.
thank you again. It's really good to speak about your art and like share some personal issues to see. Like, I want everyone to see that I'm just like everyone else out there. You
Absolutely,
know?
yeah.
Like, I just want us to just be as supportive as possible as a community. You know.
Yeah, you were playing piano in that thing. So do you is that your main instrument when you play instruments, or do you play a few other instruments?
Piano is my main instrument and my vocals, obviously. But I'm kind of doing a little different. Like, I'm trying to do things a little bit outside the box. Because often when you play like a rap track or a hip hop track, there's a lot of verses and heavy rapping. But with my stuff, it's more about the rhythm. It's about the story still.
Yeah.
But I also play piano on pretty much every track that I make. I write the whole song. So all I'm not doing, I'm not mixing it. I'm not creating. I need someone to create that beat for me.
Makes sense.
So that's pretty much it. I'm focusing on the piano, the melody, the song structure. I write my own lyrics, of course. There's no ghostwriters. There's no need for it anyways, you know, like, but yeah, so pretty much what I'm doing differently in my song called, I still didn't release my new stuff yet, obviously. So whoever gets to watch this live gets to listen.
A world
like a sneak
premiere.
peek, yeah.
World exclusive here on Crosswave Radio.
Yeah, like, so the song Coming Down, when I'm doing in it, maybe you noticed I'm going,
Oh yeah, on the intro,
that's
right?
my voice. So
Oh,
I'm using
cool.
like my voice as like an instrument, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's kind of something different there.
Awesome. In fact, why don't we listen to that one now? Coming Down, right?
Yeah,
Let me get that one synced up here. So, do you want to say anything about the song before we start, or do you want to just talk about it after?
Yeah, I could explain briefly after. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here is Coming Down from Pheroine.
Oh, featuring my friend Mag T. Sorry, I forgot to say featuring my Mag T. Check him out on Instagram. He's amazing. Mag T Bazals.
Mister, take me higher. I'll come down any day. Come down anyway. Mister, take me higher. I'll come down any day. Come down anyway. Hey, I'm just a player in the game. Cruising on the same lane. Boots making waves. The six keeps me fixed till I obliterate. I'm used to hate, breeding hate. I'm used to fakes being rated. Watching every move of our youths, cause I'll make 'em groove, make 'em lose it to my tunes. I'll give it a shot, I'll give it a shot, I'll give it a shot, I'll give it a shot. Mister, take me higher, I'll come down any day, come down anyway. Mister, take me higher, I'll come down any day, come down anyway. Mister, take me higher, I'll come down any day, come down anyway. Mister, take me higher, I'll come down any day, come down anyway.
Give it a shot. Peas in a pot. About to cop this new condo, V with a drop. E-West be the best, Magnum with a shot. Success my target, gotta give it a shot. Make it miss with a plot. Penthouse with a spot. Hey, when I bust a rap, it be a rap. Yeah, they plan to hate forever, I plan to be great forever. Raining on them, stormy weather. Stormy weather. Raining on them.
Mister, take me higher, I'll come down any day, come down anyway. Mister, take me higher, I'll come down any day, come down anyway. Mister, take me higher, I'll come down any day, come down anyway.
And that was Coming Down by Pheroine. And that world exclusive premiere of the song was brought to you by Jewelry Forever. Conveniently located at CF Markville Shopping Center on 5000 Highway 7 East, Markham, they do custom-made jewelry repairs and change watch batteries, all done on site. Or you can shop online at www.jewelryforever.ca, where you can get free shipping with any orders of $149 or more. Jewelry Forever. Tell them Scott and Regine sent you. We love those guys over there. And it was brought to you by the Canada's Top Choice Council, a non-profit organization which is proud to present 3 amazing events held annually that help to grow the community, advance education, self-empowerment, and promote public appreciation for the arts. And they just recently had their Give Back fundraising concert, which was an event that I and Regine and I both emceed at, and I sang a few songs at. It was an awesome event. And coming up is the Canada's Top Choice pageant, which I believe is open for candidates. They are looking for candidates to come and be a part of. So if you would like to be in it, find out more at Canada's Top Choice Facebook page. Okay, well, we are back with Pheroine. So that was Coming Down.
Yeah, it's pretty much about how, you know, when you're doing something you love, or when you're with someone you love, when you do something, you're just ecstatic. You're at this high point. You're really high. Like even with drugs, when you get high, there's always the coming down, right?
Well, let's look at everything, I guess. Yeah.
Not that I'm, you know, obviously this is just about how everything good has to kind of come with something negative. It's like the yin yang, you know. That's what the song's about.
The ups and downs and everything.
Yeah.
So so you wrote all of that, and I know that you said that was your voice off the top.
Yeah.
So you did all the arrangements as well?
I pretty much wrote the entire song, but Mag T wrote his verse.
And that was obviously the male voice we heard in there, right?
Yeah, and my executive producer, Mike Cans, that's his name, he he basically got me working with a really good engineer who works with Cash Money Records. So basically they helped me a little bit, like he came up with the gra. I came up with the gra thing, but kind of like
just
little
to give it a
tweaks
bit of
here
extra.
and there.
Yeah, so
you know?
he was kind of there to, you know, add some artistic flavor to it.
And he helped me with the flow. To be super honest, I'm going to be really honest here. People may cringe, whatever, but I had an anxiety attack in the studio when we were recording the song. I couldn't really breathe. I just get very nervous.
Well, it's a high pressure situation, right? Especially when you're paying, you know, I don't know, you got to
spend a lot of
by the hour, and there's kind of that moment where you've got to like. Anyway, yeah. So it makes sense. So he was able to help you out. You through that?
Mike really helped me. Mike's awesome. Like Mike Cans is an artist himself, so he really understands, and he taught me this really good breathing technique, and he helped me with my flow because I was struggling a little because, you know, it's still kind of a new domain for me to rap.
Yeah.
And like trap, you know, I love it so much, but I've been singing more, you know. I have more years. Like everyone's telling me, you know, stick to your strength, but I really love rapping. I don't think I'll ever not rap. I just love it. I have another track like that's not released at all, still in the works.
Yeah.
And it goes, I don't give a crap if you think I can't rap. I start off like that.
Just because you enjoy it, yeah. Well,
You know?
I mean, this track sounded awesome.
Thank you.
It sounded like you managed to find it. So did you find it was a big transition? Because I know. Like I'm a singer as well. I've never really tried rapping, but it's a totally you're finding a completely different voice, right? Like you're using some of the same melody that you would use singing, but I guess rapping it's a different type of thing. So did it take you a while to find the voice you wanted?
Well, you know what? Actually, that's a great point you're bringing up because I've always been very like musical since a very young age. I've always liked all kinds of music, so it's not like it's completely new to me. It's almost like I've been dabbling with it, but I haven't really like recorded this kind of music because I have stuff I recorded like years ago with a band, but I've always like listened to all kinds of music, and also it helps being a musician, like just understanding rhythms.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but that's a really good point because, you know, usually if you stick to your not comfort, like just what you're used to and more experienced in, you know. But I kind of like to I like to be a little daring, and I like to challenge myself. Yeah. Even though I might.
Well, I think it's good.
You know.
I mean, you take on new things, you learn new skills, you grow as a person. So that's important.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all about that.
So Yeah, I mean, what you're saying earlier about how it was really nerve-wracking in the studio. I remember a few years back, my band, we won a battle of the bands.
Nice.
And part of the prize was studio time. And I remember it was that same situation where it was like, it was a professional studio, and I can't remember, I think it was something like $125 an hour if we were to actually pay to be there. And so we had won a certain number of hours, right? And so we had budgeted certain time. Okay, this day we're going to record, our bed tracks, and we're going to come in and do our lead guitars. Then we have we budgeted a couple of days for vocals.
Yeah.
And I remember I go in on that day for vocals, and my voice just I was not feeling my voice. And I'm like, there's so much pressure on you, because I'm like, this is the time I have to do it. We've budgeted this time for vocals, and it wasn't there. And I'm like, and at the back of your mind, it's like, you're trying to get through it as quick as you can, because as soon as you run out of time, now I'm paying $125 an hour, right? So yeah, I totally understand that.
When money's
the pressure situation of being in the studio.
Yeah, I do appreciate that understanding. Like, I don't know. It seems like easy. Some artists make it look so easy. Some artists make it look so easy, and it isn't. There's so much work that gets into it. I know a lot of Toronto artists, like rap singers, whatever. Like, I know a lot of musicians, and I feel like we're very supportive. I don't like the competitiveness in general. I try not to be competitive, but I look up to them. If I admire someone, I kind of like try to take from them the confidence, Confidence is
makes sense.
everything as well.
Yeah, I find the competitive side is I find I'm more competing sort of almost with myself in a lot of ways.
Yes.
Like you're always trying to better yourself, and I find I think most musicians are like this. You're almost your own worst critic in a lot of ways.
It's true.
But I think you're right. There's not really any reason to be competitive with other artists. I know some people do. Like I remember, like I said, when you say you're in a battle of the bands, you're competing against other bands.
Yeah.
I mean, you are competing against them, but you're not really. I mean, they're there, they're doing their thing, and you can't really do anything about them at all, right? You only really ever have control over your own performance and your own singing. And so, yeah, I've never really found, like, if I'm in a battle of bands and a band goes on and they do a great job, right? I'm never sitting there going, oh, I can't believe they did, I'm happy for them.
Right.
And now I'm going to go up and I'm going to go do the best show that I can perform.
Healthy.
So,
That's
yeah.
healthy.
And I also think it's really the only way to look at it. I mean, you can send all the negative thoughts you want at the other band, but it's not going to do anything. So, in fact, if anything, it might have just affect yourself negatively in some ways.
Which I admit, I've let my jealousy towards other artists or whatever, like more successful than me, I've let my jealousy eat me up alive almost, and I can't do that anymore.
Well, I think it's a common thing. I mean, I think a lot of people, and it's not just in art, I think people have a tendency to, you're constantly, comparing yourself to other people.
Yeah.
But I think I find ultimately you're better off sort of just focusing on yourself and realizing you can't control other people. You're only really in control of your own, what you can do, what you can control. Worry about that. I think ultimately it works out better.
Yeah, like some people might think, oh, you're not really an experienced rapper. You should just stick to singing and only, like, not everyone tells me that, but like a couple of people have told me that. And I get that. Like, I'm still going to be singing, but I still really enjoy my rap.
And I think if you like it, then you should do it, right? I mean, and the thing is, everybody was inexperienced at one point, right? Even the best rappers in the world, they one day had never done it even once before, right? So
yeah.
I think that's cool. It's awesome. And yeah, that track sounded really cool.
Thank you.
And, you want to hear another track? Should we listen to another track?
Yeah. Which one did you have in mind to play next?
So I've got two here. I've got one that was Hold On and Next Level. Which one would you like?
Yeah, maybe we can do Hold On, because now I need to say something. This is like not very complete, because I'm going to add a verse by Mike Cans himself, my executive producer. So
awesome.
So keep in mind it's not complete, but
okay.
Yeah.
So this is again a world exclusive on Crosswave Radio. Enjoy listening to Hold On by Pheroine.
Came from a tiny place where faces were all the same. No one knows you gotta educate, educate. Toronto, thanks for having me, for helping me to break free. No, I ain't from the streets, but they're a part of me. You don't know what I've been through, the terror and abuse. I'm here trying to tell you, I'm living a sacrifice, doing right, was every time. Once bitten and twice shy, hold tight, keep holding on. I'm living a sacrifice, doing right, was every time. I don't know what's real anymore. I'm holding on. I'm holding on. I'm holding on. Telling myself hold tight, doing just what feels right. Gotta find my white line, nothing gonna fly by. Keep my education up, switch the situation, love. Fits me like an OJ glove, backing me up in the truck. I'm done caring about the hate. Just want your honey on my plate. We be staying up too late, drinking Henny for some days, not to waste it. I'm living a sacrifice, doing right, was every time. Once bitten and twice shy, hold tight, keep holding on. I'm living a sacrifice, doing right, was every time. I don't know what's real anymore. I'm holding on. I'm holding on. I'm holding on.
And we're back. That was, what was the name of that song again? Hold on by Pheroine. And it was brought to you by Intercontinental Consulting Services for Immigration and Settlement in Canada. Find out how you can live, work, and study in Canada. Visit icscanadaimmigration.ca. Come to Canada. Immigrate, work, study, visit. Find out how you can by visiting icscanadaimmigration.ca. And of course, it was brought to you by Cecile's line dance class. Great friend of the show, first established in 1998. They have classes 3 times a week for all ages. Wednesdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Beam TV, 361 Wilson Ave, Toronto. Or Thursdays from 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at JC's Banquet Hall, 1686 Ellesmere Road, Scarborough. Or Sundays from 2:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. at the Filipino Center. Thank you very much to those 2 fantastic advertisers for being part of the show. And if you would like to advertise, please get in touch at radioshowad@gmail.com, and we'll set you up with a fantastic advertising plan. So that song was awesome. We're here with Pheroine, by the way, if you just tuned in. Fantastic singer. We just listened to a song for the first time, a world exclusive. So that song sounded awesome. I really like the breakdown in the chorus is really cool.
Yeah, like I'm holding on. Yeah. Actually, I have to thank the producer because he kind of came up with the idea of the part that goes "breathe anymore." It's like me, but like a lower register.
Yeah, I was gonna
it's
ask
like
how that was.
That effect that was kind of cool. Like he kind of that's where his magic came. I feel like he added a magical touch to.
Yeah.
He really gave it magic, you know.
Yeah, this one, there were a lot more, I guess, I don't know, production elements in this track that stood out to me in this one. I liked it a lot. I really like when it breaks down into that chorus, and there's a harmony on top of it.
Oh yeah, I
nice.
did Yeah, I love harmonizing. Yeah. So yeah,
it's powerful.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that from you.
And I noticed the Toronto shout out in there. You mentioned Toronto in the lyrics there.
Right. It's about coming from a tiny place. Like it's my story about coming from Bahrain, which a lot of people don't know. So I'm like, no one knows it. Gotta educate them, you know.
So when did you come to Toronto?
15 years ago.
15 years ago. Cool.
Yeah, because Toronto, thanks for having me, for helping me to break free. No, I ain't from the streets. Because, yeah, I didn't grow up in the streets, but I grew up with a few things that are not very good, you know, like terrorism and stuff. That's why I'm like the terror and abuse. Because I did grow up, I'm not going to get into details, but it's affected my childhood, and I want people to sort of sense the story, And then later, the other verse talks about how I fell in love with someone, and like I drink just to like escape the pain.
Those struggles, Well, it was a really cool song. And so you were saying you're looking to add so one more verse is probably going to go in there. You were saying.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm excited to see how it will turn out.
Yeah. Well, it sounds great so far. So I'm excited to hear the final version.
Thank you. Mike's really good. Like his stuff, he released this track. Skirt. He's really talented. Like, I mean, I'm sure he's not watching this because he's super busy. But I mean,
well, he can tune in later. It's he can watch on demand at facebook.com/crosswaveradio.
Oh, right, right on.
So he can watch later.
Oh,
awesome. So these songs. So these are. When are you planning to release them, or when are they going to come out? Do you think?
That's a great question. Yeah, I want to release it on like Spotify, iTunes, the whole thing. I just want to do a couple of things, like just iron out a couple of things before I do it. But hopefully, like my plan is to actually start releasing these one by one, starting, it should be a couple weeks from now. So not too far away.
Cool.
Yeah, a week or two from now.
In fact, if people want to get like, when they want to find out, where can they find you? I guess, is it Instagram the best place to follow you? Or
Instagram is definitely the best. Also, I am on Facebook, but it's as my... I thought that Facebook changed the name on my Facebook page, but it's my actual name, Natalie Boutari. I have like a page you can like and follow. But Instagram, it's pheroine.ca, and
Pheroine.ca, PHEROINE.
Yes.
.ca.
You nailed it.
Okay.
You nailed it, Scott.
I studied before.
Oh yeah, that's true. Of course, you're always prepared.
Trying to be, but yeah. So find her on so let's just send them to Instagram. It's the easiest one, and then you'll probably, as the songs are released, you'll put them out on there. Right?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yep.
So you've been working hard on these productions. Do you have a preference? Do you prefer to perform, or do you prefer the songwriting part? Do you have a favorite step along the musical process? Or
Yeah, I actually do prefer the creating and recording process because live is amazing, but it's more nerve-wracking.
Really?
It has an effect on me.
Is it like being in front of the crowd, or?
Oh, just before. Once I'm on stage, I feel like all my anxiety goes away.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting thing because before I hit the stage, the whole day I don't eat. I can't eat. I'm too nervous, and I'm sure that a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah. I find, if I had to say which I prefer, I mean, I actually think I prefer performing, but I know what you're talking about. That nerves. I find I'm usually okay during the day, unless I'm doing something maybe I've never done before, or if it's a particularly huge show or something. But yeah, I always find you're right. It's like I'm always nervous right up until we start playing those first few notes, and then if we can get through that first half of the song, then the rest of the show just goes, and then you just sort of fall into it. But yeah, I know what you mean. There's something about that build up. Is it going to go? And I find it's not just with performing. Like I do a lot of hosting as well, like emceeing. And I find it's the same thing. I'm like, okay, if I can just get through these first few lines, that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. If I can get through that, start that rapport with the audience, then the rest of the show will be smooth. I just got to get through that first moment. So
right, exactly.
Then it rolls. But you prefer the creative process then more than the actual performing side.
Yeah, I like to create more than like perform live, but I love performing too. I still do love it. But if I had to prefer one, it would be like sort of less pressure for me when I'm just recording. I mean, it's still pressure because the clock, but I just generally have, it's just better for my nerves, but I mean, I'm sure I'll get used to it eventually.
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything, is the more you do it, the more you get comfortable. Yeah, I find, I mean, especially nowadays, I do a lot. Let me just turn that music down. There we go. I find it's a lot less pressure now if I can. A lot of times when I'm writing a song, for example, now it's usually at my house and I'm recording it on my own stuff, so I'm not really having to worry about the time anymore. The only part I find that can be tedious for me for recording, where I tend to prefer live, is like when you're live, you go up and you say I'm singing a song. I just got to sing that line once, and I sing it once, and it goes out, and the audience hears it, and then the song continues on. Whereas I find when I'm recording vocals, I'll find myself singing individual phrases over and over again, like a million times, just to get it right. And you can go in and fix every little thing. And I find, especially when I'm producing, I'm very, very nitpicky.
Yeah, so it can be a bit frustrating here and there, right?
It just takes forever. Whereas it's like, I think if I had to pick a favorite, it's probably the performing side, because it's like once the song is done, now all I got to do is go up and sing it. And I can just sing it, and I just got to do it once, and that's the take, because there's no redos on a live show. So.
Yeah, I once was playing a festival. I opened for the Trues, actually.
Awesome.
With a bunch of people at this like native community, and there was a fly or bug because it was outdoors. So while I was playing, this bug and I have insectophobia, so so I was like, and I kind of like said that S word. I'm like, and in the middle of my performance, it was so funny.
Do you know what kind of bug it was? Was it big?
Yeah, it was like big, and it just kind of came. I'm like,
it just landed right on you. Oh, geez.
Yeah, it was just like it threw me by surprise. So I'm like, please no outdoor summery shows, because the insects coming on me while I perform like throw me off.
Did you have were you holding the mic, or was it on a stand?
I was sitting like playing piano.
Oh, so you couldn't even walk away or anything.
Yeah. So
at least if you had a mic, you could be like, okay, I'm just gonna go over here and keep singing. But no, you can't really bring your piano with you.
It was pretty funny, but then people came up to me after and said, "Oh, I really like your songs." So that's good. It's
that makes
always
it all
good.
worth it. Yeah, that helps out.
Yeah, when someone pours their heart to me, they're like, "I really felt that song,"
Do you have can you remember maybe what your favorite performance ever was? Do you have a memory of a favorite live performance you've done?
Oh yeah, I was at the Drake Underground, and it went smoothly. Like, it was one of my best shows.
Awesome.
Because I don't think I made any like little mistakes. Sometimes mistake, but people don't, the audience don't feel it. But
yeah, I've come to know. Yeah. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so that was my best show, the Drake Underground.
Cool. You just felt like you had the audience with you, and everything was just rolling.
Yeah, they told me like a couple people told me they almost had like tears come out.
Beautiful.
And also, I was gonna say, I forgot. Oh yeah, it was just on my own. No band, just piano.
So it was just you, piano,
Yeah.
up there. So that's awesome. So you really got to connect with them. The Drake's a nice location, a nice venue too.
Yeah, and the Hideout, I had a great time when I had a band. We played at the Hideout. We opened for Ape. They're called, APE. Something Destroy. Whatever. They're really good. We opened for them. It was pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah, having a band is too much work. There's someone like who wasted my time. Well, I wasted my time with them, like being in a band. I find the whole band politics thing. It's sick of it.
The hardest part I find about being in a band is finding those members. It's so hard. Like even my own band. I mean, we've been together since high school, but it's not always been the same members. I find specifically drummers. I don't know. My experience. I don't know if other musicians can relate, but drummers are different from other musicians in some way. So we went through a few different drummers just to find the right fit, and it's tough because the thing is, it's more than just the musical side, right? When you form a band, you're I don't know. It's like you're literally forming a group of people that you have to spend a lot of time with for a long period.
Yeah.
And then and even just the personalities have to mesh, but it's just the idea of meshing different schedules. Everybody's got.
Yeah.
It's just it's an entire other thing. Absolutely.
Yeah. Some say. I mean, it's like it's as difficult as finding the love of your life.
Except you got to find it like 2, 3, or 4 times because you got to find a bunch of different people.
Yeah.
Yeah, finding bands, it's tough. That's why bands who have been around for a long time or who have toured together for a long time, they've pulled something off. They found something that's hard to find.
They have a good bond.
Yeah.
I've had bad luck with bands, so I decided to do this. This is great because I don't really need a band doing this genre, like rap, hip hop, trap, R&B. I don't really need a band, really. So yeah, R&B I love a lot. Like I love The Weeknd as well. I love Drake. I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. Well, that's not R&B really, but still, like I love all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Cool. And it's definitely simpler. I mean, I find. I still have my own band. In fact, I'm playing in a couple bands now, But some things I've taken to doing as well is like I'll work on songs on my own and compose them, and then if I want to play live, what I'll do is like pull a band together for the show.
Right,
you know
that
what
makes
I mean?
sense.
So it makes it a lot simpler. That way you're not attached to any single person, and you kind of just you pull them in as you need them. You come together, you rehearse a couple times, you go play the gig, and then you disperse. And then if you want to play again later, you do. But yeah, it's pulling together a full solid, consistent group is not an easy thing. It's almost independent of the music. It's like just building a family unit or something.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
it's definitely So I can see that. And this genre of music, you don't really need that. I mean, you could theoretically pull a band together for a performance, but you don't need it, and you don't need it in the studio, right?
Right.
It's more to do with the.
So it's definitely like easier, but I'm also really enjoying this. I feel like whenever someone hears my new tracks, because I've sent it to some friends.
Yep.
And they love it. They love all three of the tracks that I play. Like there's one that maybe you might be able to play.
We got one more here.
That one is more of a romantic sort of like the hook says that I'll love you till the end of time.
Mm-hmm.
And even the person that I wrote this for listened to the track themselves, and but anyhow, people tell me, oh, this is way better than your rock stuff. That's what a lot of people tell me. They're like, I like this better than your rock stuff. You sound amazing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, maybe because this genre tends to be, it's a bit softer in places, the beat, and so there's more room for you to maybe explore your full singing range.
Yes, that's a very good point.
Because I find that's the case too, because I sing a lot of rock mostly as well, but then I find, when you pull out just a pop song or a ballad, suddenly rock tends to be a lot of belting. And you're hitting a lot of, which is great for certain settings, but it's not, it's harder to connect necessarily with the audience on an emotional level. Anyway, let's talk about that after. Let's give a listen to Next Level by Pheroine.
Thank you.
And it should.
Guessing the game is over. Listen, it's a real shame we're older now. The night is young and I wanna have some fun. I'm guessing you made a statement when we met. I tripped on the pavement. You looked at my blade, we joked all day. Then next level stimulation left my brain dead. I feel you feeling me. It's something sexy. I need you to believe you're special to me. So don't let me go. I dig your soul. This may sound crazy, but I love you till the end of time. So don't let me go, baby. Just don't let go. Sucked in a spell now, burning up in hell. I prayed to some cursed faith, and boy, it fell. Wow. Pay attention, cause the story is real. A freaky deal, so I'ma get high and give you the spiel. The man of my dreams turned to reality. Pleads I'm too nice, but I'm no pussy. He said I can't escape what he is from me. So tell me please if this is real, like it feels for me. I feel you feeling me. It's something sexy. I need you to believe. So don't let me go. I dig your soul. This may sound crazy, but I love you till the end of time. So don't let me go, baby. Just don't let go. Can
confess, I'm obsessive, my mind's a mess. I'm really sorry that you went through the stress we both faced and tasted. We aced it. I may be strong as you say, but I'm faithless. We both wanna die. We both fantasize that our music makes time fly and eyes wide. Save me from this feeling. Save me from this feeling. Honestly intoxicating. So don't let me go. I dig your soul. This may sound crazy, but I love you till the end of time. So don't let me go, baby. Just don't let go.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. That was a world premiere of a brand new song by Pheroine, and it was brought to you by the Sit Down Mug. Get yourself the best mug in the biz. Visit teespring.com/the Sit Down Mug, and every sip of coffee will taste just like. I mean, it'll. Honestly, it would taste weird if it tasted like anything. Heaven, that's what you said. It'll taste like heaven. That's better. That's better than whatever else I was thinking. Yeah.
I'm in heaven.
Teespring.com. So, awesome song. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. So, you're brand new into this world of rapping, but I think you've fallen into it quite comfortably. It's
Yeah, I'm in
pretty
love.
awesome.
I love that style. Like, yeah, I love it.
So you're planning to release those 3 songs, and then I guess is it just going to be one song at a time, or are you aiming to do a whole album eventually, or what's your plan? Do you think?
I'm actually working on 3 other songs right now already.
Cool.
Like,
so
yeah,
there's
it's happening.
plenty more to come down the pipeline.
Yeah, there's one with another producer, and then there's a couple more coming out with the one that produced the 3 songs we played.
Awesome. Very cool. So plenty more to come. Make sure you follow Pheroine on Instagram at Pheroine, PHEROINE.ca, Pheroine.ca, to get all the latest updates on her musical journey. Now, besides music, you do a lot of other things. I know you're also a belly dancer.
I mainly teach it. I don't really I just teach it, but I mean I can belly dance pretty well.
Yeah.
And
so what's the key to like a good belly dancing performance? Is it like, because I don't know anything about it, but it's like you want to make sure your upper body hardly moves. Is it all kind of in the lower?
Yeah, it's about isolating a lot of the parts, and it's something that I find that it's really like good exercise, and it's really fun to do.
A lot of core strength, right?
Yeah, and that's why I really enjoy, like, I do some choreography, stuff like that, but like I do more like art as well, like painting, sketching, and I do like ink work. Some of my art's on my website actually.
Oh, what's your website? Do you want to plug that?
The one you Pheroine.ca.
Oh yeah, that makes
still?
sense. That's also a URL. Okay, good. So you can find her on Instagram, Pheroine.ca, and also her website at Pheroine.ca.
Absolutely,
Awesome.
It's also a URL. Yeah, it needs to be updated, but it's there. It's still live.
Awesome.
And you could actually listen to my older stuff. Like it's still like it's alternative rock stuff, but it's also kind of got that pop, catchy element to it, and yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's still her voice. I mean, you can hear from these songs we've heard today. She's got a really awesome singing voice, and
thank you.
It's versatile.
And I think your voice is fantastic. You're a great musician.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Thank you. That's right. We've performed together.
You're so you're so professional. Like your voice is like you need to be like you're a star.
Oh. Well, thank you.
It's all about Scott. Not
working
me.
on it. Working on it. We're working on it, everybody. Working on it.
I mean, I don't know if any of you've seen Scott perform live, but like I think I even had some tears coming out of my eyes that night because you're so good. You're that good.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. It's very nice.
It's true.
Yeah, that was fun. If you want to hear my songs or anything like that, you can find me on YouTube. That's the best place to find my stuff.
Okay.
I'm at youtube.com/Scott Dion Brown, and I post music on there as well as actually this week I posted a vlog. I've been working for a while now on this horror movie that I shot because I'm also a filmmaker.
Nice.
And so I shot this horror short a little while ago, and
That's right.
I finally got this vlog finished, which is just the final about a week leading up to before we started filming.
Yep.
So I reveal in that vlog who my lead actors are for the film. In fact, I guess I can tell everybody it's the stars of Storage Room B are two fantastic actors. One by the name of Haley Midget, who plays the role of Jane, and Blake Canning, who plays the role of Ralph. So you get to meet them. You see some of their audition tape in the vlog, and then you just see me building props and running around the city to Home Depot and stuff and putting it all together.
Nice.
So it's fun. So you can find me at youtube.com/Scott Dion Brown, and you can find more about that on there. I'm almost at 1,000 subs. I think I'm close to 960. So I'm only like 40 away, people. It's a big thing. It's a big goal.
That is really cool.
Yeah, slowly growing.
I think I only have like 50 subs on my YouTube. I didn't really do much with YouTube yet.
Yeah.
There's a couple of funny like videos there, but that's about it. But I'm gonna.
Are you planning to add more to it?
I'm gonna go crazy with everything. I'm just gonna release. I gotta do it. I'm so close. Like these songs are ready. You played them. Like I just need to, just a couple of things here and there, and that's it.
Awesome. So they'll be, okay. So let's I'll share her YouTube channel as well. We'll put it in the link somewhere down below, or I'll share it on the Crosswave. No, I'll share it on the Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown Facebook page, as well as on Twitter and all those things, so you can find all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So we want to find more about your musical journey. So and you also said you do painting. You do a lot of other things. So have you done that for many years, or how did you get into that? You just
ever since I was a kid, like in school, academically at U of T. I've exhibited my art. I just haven't really been focusing on it lately. It's just been focusing more on the music and writing stuff. Mm-hmm. The writing stuff was also what pays the bills, and acting stuff too. Absolutely. Here and there.
Yeah. No, I find it's anytime I'm the same. I do a bunch of things. Like I do music, I do film, acting, but it's really hard, especially if you really. It's easy for one thing to kind of take over the others. Like as soon as you start to focus on one, like when I started working on my film, like I set this deadline for myself, being like, okay, it's got to be done by this time. And once you start diving in on that, it's really easy. Like you just don't have time to focus on the songs and anything else you're doing. So it's really easy for. Because I find if you kind of spread yourself too thin, it's hard to get anything done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I plan on doing more art though soon. Like I've been involved in projects like big paintings with another artist, for example. I could just paint on my own. I have like a couple of my paintings on my Instagram page even. Like I just enjoy it.
Awesome.
I'm pretty good at that.
I guess if you wanted to, you could also use some of that stuff for like like the album art or something like that.
Exactly. See, that's one of the things I'm getting ready is my album art. I also plan to do a few music videos. So the music videos are gonna come out a bit later, but the songs I'm thinking of releasing first, or you know how sometimes an artist just releases the song as a video?
Yep.
I'm thinking of doing that.
Just like the audio,
a lot of things I need to keep
lots
working on.
Lots to do, lots coming
Non-stop.
down the pipeline.
Non-stop.
Well, that's awesome. Well, we have only one segment left on the show today. And it's a very special segment. It's a segment I do every week. And so the way it works is so I don't know if you know, well, you probably wouldn't know this. This show has a rather large Filipino audience, and but there are many Filipinos like myself. I'm half Filipino actually, and but there are many Filipinos maybe born, say, in Canada or in the Western world who don't speak the Filipino language, Tagalog. So I don't. I grew up, in my house. I grew up. My mom and dad spoke English to each other, so I didn't learn the language. So I thought on this show, what I would do is I came up with this new segment where every week we learn one phrase of Tagalog. So,
wow.
So we're gonna learn it together. We're gonna learn one together.
I know some. I know kumusta ka, mabuti, and salamat.
Nice. There you go. That's 3. There's 3 right there. Okay. Well, we're gonna learn a 4th right now. Good job. Awesome. This is perfect. So we're gonna learn a new phrase. Regine sent me this, and it's a good one to learn. Especially because Regine is the co-host. She couldn't be here today. So our phrase of the week is "Bakit mo ako iniwan?" And it means, why did you leave me?
Bakit? Oh, I need that. I'm gonna tell it to this guy that left me.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so here, let's learn it. So, bakit mo ako
iniwan? Iniwan.
Bakit mo ako iniwan?
You know what I use? I use visuals to help me remember. So I'm thinking of a bucket.
Okay.
And a Mo, like this guy named Mo is in the bucket.
Okay.
Just anything crazy. I honestly, this helps
That
me
will help.
remember.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
So bucket Mo,
Ako
ako,
iniwan.
iniwan. Huh. Ako, iniwan. Okay. That's going to be hard. Bucket Mo. At least I'm thinking of Mo in a bucket.
Okay. That's a good way for me to remember.
Ako, iniwan. Oh, he's echoing in the bucket. Echo, ako. Okay.
Bakit mo ako iniwan?
And his knee hurts. And
His knee hurts. Okay, good. This is
Perfect.
good.
See, this will help me. Like I know kamsamnida in Korean. I know like so many.
Well, now we've
thank
added one
yous.
more. So we have to you have to sort of say it like, Bakit mo ako iniwan, Regine?
Bakit mo ako iniwan?
Why did you leave
Aking
me?
mahal, aking mahal, aking mahal.
There you go.
See, I know another one. Aking
Awesome.
mahal.
This is amazing. Look, this was perfect. Perfect phrase from Regine, helping out the show even when she's not here. But
Hi, Regine.
Hi, Regine. We
miss you.
miss you very much. We're gonna have to get all the latest scoop from her when she gets back because she's hosting. Apparently, it's a pageant of all like very little kids, which
Oh,
is
that's
probably
so
adorable.
cute.
So she's no, she's hosting. She's judging. She's one of the judges in the event.
I wish you the best.
Yeah, she's probably having a great time.
Time to take the
Salamat.
weight off your feet and find out who's on the hot seat.
And wait a
on
minute.
the
No, we're not gonna-
Time
That was the end of the show coming up. But we might as well wrap things up. I think we're about almost done. So, Pheroine, thank you so much for being here today.
My pleasure, and thank you.
This was a really great time, and this was my first time at this side of the desk, as you guys can see, which is why it wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect, but it was fine. It was great.
It's perfect to me.
Yeah, well, you were a great guest. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here. So everybody, please find Pheroine, Pheroine.ca. Find her on Instagram. Find her at our website for all the latest music, her art, all the stuff she's doing. And find me on YouTube, youtube.com/Scott Dion Brown. And thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Salamat.
Salamat. Bye, everybody.
That
we
was
saying it right?
awesome.
I love this radio.
The Right Hit Music Mix.
Crosswave.
That's it for today, folks. The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown. If you think 60 minutes is not enough, well, you better catch us again next week, because it is not just about music or pure talk. It's your weekend pastime. And witness the next worthy of your time episode of the program right here on Crosswave Radio. The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown.